All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are back again. You, me, and Dune Awakening. Um, I think the biggest thing for me, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna mute this so that this plays in the background and just be you and me here. There are a lot of issues with finalization of different types of tool sets and issues in the game. The AI could be a little bit better, but in numbers it can be overwhelming. If you don't know what you're doing, if you're with other people, you can easily and quickly overcome things if you work together as a team. Um, I've heard a lot of things as we go through this. The typical survival activities in a survival game, it has in spades, and it does very well. There's a continual pressure applied to you, and if you don't like that type of thing, then the game is not for you, because that's what it does. Now, I will say that there are the issues you're seeing with the video that you're actually watching are actually Starlink issues with my upload, which we'll be solving next month, but it's coming. Anyways, if you love survival games, you'll find everything that you need, resource gathering. You will find camps and points of interest. You're going to have dungeonies. I mean, you have to understand that everything about the game is really good. I would give everything in the game, so far that you've been allowed to see is a 4 out of 5. The combat is pretty good. Everything is really good. The PvP combat, when you understand it, is a 5 out of 5. Okay. So, I mean, I want to appeal to people who really, really know or really, really understand what it is they're getting into. But my really, my overall final thoughts are going to be, as I said, everything that's been presented to you, there is no end game that's been presented to you yet. So I cannot talk to you on what the end game is. I can't convince you of a reason to log in and do it over and over again at the moment, other than so far it's a whole hoot and lot of blast. The weapons are smooth, they feel good, the action of the weapons. One of the biggest things that everybody is being a critic about is balancing. Well, let me help you to understand. The game is balanced by class. If you want to be a scout, you have a scout build, and you will excel at scout activities, making maps, cartography, you know what I mean? Understanding the lay of the land, resources, point of interest, blah, 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 blah. On and on and on and on and on. Okay. There is scout armor that helps you to be proficient in those things and to do your scout job. There is soldier builds and PvP combat builds. Okay, and there is armor, and there are things that help you in the playstyle to be better at that. However, both actual classes take skill. I think I died right here. So you have to understand that there is no balancing. Okay, if you are a scout, it's asymmetric warfare. Okay, if you are a scout, there is no damn purpose in the world for you to be out in the field challenging a soldier. Okay, you're a scout. You know what I mean? Your job is to get away. See this? This is heavy armor. I'm a beast. I will rock you. I'm running my shields. You know what I mean? I am a monster. I will keep self reviving. I will keep fighting. And this is where the example I wanted to show people. You got to get your parries in. Your parries will assist you a great deal. But no, a scout is not meant to run up on a mentat with a turret. You better have your shield up, you better have heavy armor on, and you better have an ability to close the gap. If you don't, why are you challenging them? And that goes to the problem with gaming as a whole these days. Um, as a game dev, this is not a I'm a everybody game. This is not a God game. This is not a I am the hero, the savior game. The storyline, whatever. This is a unit tactics game that you can play solo. Now, do you want to take on people and you want to be OP, you want to be a rude prick? Fine. Pull out a sniper rifle, build yourself a sniper, sit high up on the top of mountains, and when the Benny Gesserit walks out, shoot him in the head and they die, okay? Because you're doing triple headshot damage. You understand? They ain't even got their shield on because they don't even know. Now you got dudes and dudettes and they're all points in between panicking, leaving their house with their shield on because you may be in the mountain taking a shot at them. There is no balancing. Overall, so far, I'm only going to give the game a 3.5 out of 5. Well, I can't do that. It's a 4 out of 5 so far at the moment. But the biggest thing is I can't really give a proper rating because I don't have a way to show you the end game. So there are a lot of great things about it. Graphically, it looked great, ran wonderful for me on 4K at 200 frames. So if you have an OLED monitor and you're really wanting to jig it up there and you really want to get that 240 megahertz monitor rocking and paying for itself, hey, this game looks great, feels great. I didn't use any ray tracing or any of that, but I didn't mess with the graphics at all. I just ran it straight up, right out of the box by default, just to see what it looked like, just to see what it would do. And I was pulling 200 frames, 200 FPS, 4K on Ultra. Well, whatever the default highest settings it gave me for with my card, and it ran beautifully. So I just want the challenge is there, the relevancy is there, the IP is there's the turret. The IP is very impressive. They've done well with creating different factions and people and brought them in. So overall, I think it's a pretty much going to be a smash hit for release. If you're a survivalist and you're a PvP gamer or some combination of the two, you're gonna really like this game as long as they don't screw it up. Okay, the end game is about PvP, so please stop asking for these PvE ideologies. The PvE is a stepping stone, is a resource. The human beings that you're fighting are a resource, just like an iron node or anything else. You should be farming them to make blood and to actually create your water supply early on. And you can go and ask anybody that ran with us. We had thousands and thousands of water. We had an endless supply of water early on. We built anything we wanted. It wasn't until we took our first break and we started to realize the new base, old base thing. And that's where problems came in and understanding how to build together. So make sure you set, and that's here's a pro tip at the end. If you are working with other people, set your main base deployment item. I don't know how to pronounce it, or else I'd tell you, but that stupid thing that you deploy, no matter what version, instantly access it and make everyone in your guild that you want build privileges, you know what I mean, a co-owner. All right? It's that easy. And you can get up 1,000 credits for a guild in no time. So, and my suggestion is two thumbs up if you're into survival, if you're into PvP games, it's going to be a lot of fun. Server population is going to be the biggest. People being dick pricks and trying to control areas of territory. That's the reason why they're wiping every week and whatnot, because they realize the problems that were created in Ark and other survival games where guilds try to lock down homes, server maps, and take away all the good product. They're making you fight for it here. PvE, PvP style, which is great. And most of your major resources, like fiber, there's everything type of fiber. The only place you get it is inside of down ships. Every down ship is a PvP zone. So you just, you know what I mean? If you're not a PvP person and you don't have people within your group who's going to pick up the PvP element, then I would suggest, rent your own server. Maybe that wait and rent your own server. See when those private servers come out. Because this is a PvP game, and if you change its orientation from that, I think it's gonna suck ass. And that's the reality in a nutshell. From one dev to all of you, hats off, Funcom, and everybody who's been involved with this title. It is a definitely 4 out of 5, depending on the end game and items and whatnot. We'll see if I can adjust that to a 5 out of 5. But man, it's a great game, and I hope you'll join us all somewhere in the sand.